What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF, man, with the preseason finale. And tonight was real sloppy, man. I got to keep it 100 with you guys. It was really, really sloppy. Not a good look for us because they basically sat down all their starters and played with a bunch of G Leaguers. That's right, we played the G League Clippers tonight. And we barely came out with the win. But to be honest with you guys, it's not as bad as it seems. There's a lot of good things and there were some bad things. Definitely going to talk about both. What's up, LA Forever? Welcome to live stream. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, it was not. It was bad. It was a bad game overall. It was just a sloppy game. And the Lakers really have to work on those turnovers because those turnovers are going to let even the bummiest team into any game. We could have easily handled these guys. We were in the first half. We were up 10 at one point, 12, I believe. And we should have put them away. But that's the killer mentality that a young Laker team is going to struggle with. They're going to at times get really, really sloppy. It is what it is. Honestly, our first unit is lacking something. It's lacking a playmaker, and we have that in Lonzo Ball. So hopefully when he comes back, we look a lot better in the first unit. Our second unit looks a lot better, although at times they also get sloppy with Julius and Clarkson. Sometimes they get sloppy. Even Kuzma had his first bad game today. But that's all right. We're going to cut the young rookie some slack because at the end of the day, he had an amazing preseason overall, to sum it up. And even though he had a crappy game tonight, he still put up 8 points with 5 assists and then a couple rebounds. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who makes the final cut, if anybody gets that final 15th roster spot. I don't believe anybody, other than Caruso, probably deserves that final roster spot. But since we have him on a two-way contract, we might keep him there a little longer just to see if he continues to prove himself. So we always have our options open. Briante Weber was decent, but he's not really offensive minded like that. He had a nice little move here in the fourth quarter, but he's probably gonna get cut. All the other players, I don't know why. What was the purpose today? They signed what was his name? They signed this one kid. He's a power forward. We had him in summer league. If you guys remember his name, let me know. But I don't know what the purpose of signing him for a 10-day contract was. Maybe just for practice, or I don't know. The worst thing about this game is that Julius Randle got injured. Yes, Julius Randle, everybody's favorite Laker. And yes, I am being sarcastic. Because Julius Randle has been playing great off the bench. Again, tonight he had 15 points efficiently. He had 8 rebounds off the bench. And I think Julius Randle's biggest impact as a player is going to be off the bench. I really believe, he's going to be crucial to our team off the bench. I really like him off the bench. There, his mistakes are not microscoped as much because he's going up against weaker competition, so he can afford to make mistakes here and there. It's not like they're going to capitalize every single time, like when he's on the starting lineup. So hopefully he's okay because I really like what he was doing off the bench. I feel like him and Clarkson and Kuzma have a nice connection. And I would still like Kuzma to start, but I'm actually okay with him coming off the bench. I feel like between those three guys, Kuzma, Clarkson, and Julius Randle, they're going to have a nice dynamic, and we're actually going to have one of the better benches in the league once again. Now, we've had that for the past couple of years. Last season we had, Lou Williams, Tariq Black, Larry Nance Jr. They were balling out off the bench. But then our starters were letting us down, and that's why I think Lonzo Ball is going to be crucial because this guy, Lonzo, what he does is he just makes everything gel properly. He takes care of the ball really well. At least he has throughout his collegiate career. Hopefully that all translates. The IQ's still there. The way he handles the ball, pushes the pace, it just makes everything easier for the offense. So we're not really going to be struggling as much. So it's tough, man. It's tough because we look very stagnant in the starting lineup. Now, I love the way Brook Lopez is looking. I mean, he has them low post moves, right? He has a soft touch. Reminds me a lot of Gasol, but he's quicker and more athletic than Gasol, barely. But still, I really, really like the way this kid. I really like the way this kid is just coming in and just doing work. He's 30 years of age. He's a veteran on the team, right? But the thing is he can score, guys. He might actually end up being our go-to because he's so versatile. I mean, he can spread the floor, shoot. He's a good passer from the post. He can get teammates involved. The only thing he doesn't do is rebound really well. He's a decent shot blocker. We haven't seen that yet from him. But yeah, that deep three, man. He has range. You guys see it. And he's like a poor man's Kristaps Porzingis. That's what he's going to be for us. He's going to be that inside presence, inside out. And it's going to spread the court a lot. Now, that's the reason I wanted Kuzma to start, is because having both of those guys would have even opened up the floor even more for guys like KCP. By the way, I really like the way KCP played tonight. He had some open shots. He missed a couple. He still got to work on that jumper. But he's only 24 as well, and his defense is so good, guys. It's a shame we have to miss him for 2 games. So to start the season, it officially kicks off Thursday night. And on Thursday night, when it starts, he's not going to be available because he's suspended for 2 games for some DUI he had in Detroit or something like that. So what's going to happen is KCP's going to be out, and it's going to be interesting to see who starts. Is it going to be Jordan Clarkson? Most likely. Or I heard a comment by one of the commentators, I think it was Stu Lands. He said maybe they can move Ingram down to the 2 and start Kuzma at the 3. I don't know. Something's got to give, though, for those 2 games when we play the Clippers and the next team we play. Hey, what's up, Lake Show? So it's going to be interesting, guys. Thursday night we play the fully loaded Clippers, and you know, I'm not a Clipper fan, but I have seen highlights of them, and this guy Milos Garbage, whatever his name is, he looks pretty nice, honestly, on passing. He's not. We're going to have to force him to be a scorer, though, and we're going to have to live and die by him scoring, because if not, if we let him give space and play the pick and rolls, he's going to destroy us, having weapons like Blake Griffin and DeAndre, especially because Brooks is not that athletic, and DeAndre could just probably slip behind him and dunk all day, you know. So we have to do a much better job of switching pick and rolls. We have to. One thing we've struggled with all preseason is our 3-point coverage, right? Sometimes guys, even the great KCP has been caught ball watching, where they're looking, you know, to come as help side defenders, but they're caught in between help and their guy. So they get caught up, and then next thing you know, they're running out late, rotating late to the shooters. Like, the ball moves around. So that's going to have to improve for us big time. I might drop a video here of things we have to improve before the regular season starts on Thursday, to have a chance, you know, this year to making the playoffs. We have an outside shot, but it's a slim one, but it's there, and we really have to improve a couple of areas. So I might drop another video, separate video, you know, talking about that. But what really killed us tonight, and what, you know, let this team in the game all game long, was the turnovers. How many times did we not drive to the basket and get ripped? Or how many times did we not make an errant pass? Even, you know, Julius, everybody was making errant passes. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully when Lonzo comes back, that all trims down, cuts down, and hopefully they take care of the ball better, because it is infectious, right? When one player's playing smart, especially your head point guard, the rest of the team plays smarter. We saw it in Summer League. We look like the Phoenix Suns out there in Summer League. So hopefully, you know, it gets infectious. We really haven't seen what Lonzo could do. We saw him for a game and a half in preseason. So when he comes back, hopefully the starting lineup restores to order. Now, hopefully Julius Randle's not injured, because that's going to pose another problem. If Julius Randle is injured, then we're going to have to give another player that hasn't, you know, really been playing major minutes, and that's going to mess up the whole chemistry of the team. Maybe Lil Dane gets minutes. I don't want it to happen. So hopefully Randle, you know, is healthy, because he's been playing great off the bench. Let's be real. If he can come in and fill in that Lamar Odom role, we're going to be doing good this year, all right? Because our bench looked great. Matter of fact, I think our bench won the game for us. Because our starters, Brandon Ingram had a good game. Brook Lopez had a good game. Tyler Ennis has looked horrible the past couple of games, but hopefully he just comes out of this little funk that he's in. His shots haven't been falling. He had a couple of nice drives to the rim, but he's been turning the ball over and stuff. So I just feel like Caruso has outplayed him in the last couple of games. But it's interesting. Like I said, man, regular season started. It starts this Thursday. Officially kicks off on Tuesday, so it's going to be interesting to watch that Cavs versus Celtic game, that doubleheader they're going to have on TNT. And we're going to be entertained up until Thursday, right? So, but I'll be dropping a video somewhere in between, guys, because there's some things I noticed we can improve in order to have a higher chance of making playoffs. Hey, what's up, Robert? How you doing, bro? Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, and, you know, people that hate on Brandon Ingram, or people tonight that are going to hate on Kuzma, need to just relax. It's gonna be a long season, okay? Young players are going to have bad games. They're young. That's how they make mistakes, and that's how they learn from them. They don't learn from playing perfect all the way through. Not even the greatest superstars in the history of the NBA play perfect all the way through the season. So it is what it is. But let's see who gets cut here, man. Bogut didn't even get to play a single game for us. So good point there, Lake Show. I see you're talking about Bogut. And like I said, Brandon Ingram looked good tonight, but it was against G Leaguers. But he did let the game come to him, so I give him props for that. Shout out to Brandon Ingram. Hopefully, this is only the start of his return. Brook was good. Kuzma was bad. It's his first game being bad. Randle was impressive off the bench. I like Josh Hart. Josh Hart plays good defense, and he's a nice little two-way player. He can score as well. He has a little mid-range fadeaway, like a mini Kobe Mamba move right there, where he just gets to his when he gets to his spot and just hits that shot. So it'll be interesting to see how Josh Hart develops, or where we find minutes for this kid, because I like it. He's a nice little two-way player. Like I said, Caruso might be the only other player that deserves that 15th spot. So we'll see what happens. That's a good comparison. He said Hart is the next D-Fish. Yeah, that's a good comparison. Lakeshore, I could see that. I could see something like that, because when Fish first came into the league, he was very athletic, good defender, blue-collar type player. I wish Blue passed a little more. Vanderblue, yeah. Unfortunately, I doubt he'll make the roster. He barely saw any court playing time. It's a shame they injected Briante Weber, because he looked like he was having a decent little game. And these guys are playing further. But this was a trap game, guys. So don't overread too much into it. What happens is these players are hungry, and this was their one and probably only opportunity to make a roster on the Clippers, right? Or on any other team that's watching. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna ball out, and that's what they did tonight. Thankfully, we got the dub. And hopefully, we repeat again and get another dub on Thursday night. That's the one that counts. Now, this is where I'm gonna, start criticizing players a little harsher, because again, this was just preseason, and it wasn't the prettiest preseason, but we had a couple of close games where we could have very easily ended up, 4-2 instead of 2-4 record. So I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. It's just preseason. But man, if you guys have any questions, hit me up, man. I'm ready for them. Who's going to make the final? Who do you guys think is going to make the final cuts? It's a long season. Let's not overreact on nothing. Brandon Ingram didn't have the best preseason, but thank God it's just preseason. So hopefully he starts picking up his play. KCP, I really love his defense. So to me, he can't do no wrong. Whatever he gives us on offense is like, cherry on top, is extra. Bogut, I don't know. I didn't see him play. So if we can get, from somebody else, a roster spot to somebody else. I've been seeing Chris Bosh around practice a lot. I don't know what the deal is with that, but hey, thank you, Lake Show, man. You're so kind, bro. Let's see. Maybe we can use your shooting, bro. Said they called you Paisley. Yes, they did when I was in elementary school, man. Hey, good memory. We need you. Love Laker fan. Hey, much love to you, Lake Show. Shout out to Lake Show. Check out his channel. Yeah, man. I wish, bro. But honestly, my playing days are behind me. Now I'm going to focus on just dissecting and breaking down the game. I was actually busy. I did a rap song today with my boy. I should be out soon. Shout out to my boy Demi. He was on the mic, killing it. So crazy though. There's so much to talk about, guys. The season is here. We need a couple of improvements. Like I said, I'm dropping this video soon. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Who'd you guys like to see us keep from those players that might get cut? It is. What's up, George? How you doing, bro? I see you, George. I think, like I said, we might not give that roster spot to nobody and keep it open. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the deal is with what's his face, Chris Bosh coming around training camp. I've seen him come around our practices like twice, and he's been talking to Rob Pelinka. So there's question marks behind that. But I don't even see where he would fit. We're stacked at the forward position, unless you move Kuzma to small forward, where that's where he's playing right now. But I don't know, man. He's been out of the league a couple of years now. And what do you guys think? Would you guys like Chris Bosh? I mean, if he came at half of what he used to be, he's only 30 still. He's 30-something, 31 or 32. If he came at half of what he used to be, Chris Bosh, if he still had game, I would take him. But I don't know. It takes people like a year to get back into it after being out a couple of years. I've seen retired players come back from retirement, and they're not that good for that year. Plus, we're stacked at the forward position. I love Kuzma there. I've been liking what Larry Nance has been doing at the starting power forward, so I'm not mad that Kuzma's not starting right now. Julius Randle's looked great off the bench, so I really don't. Maybe he could play some stretch five for us. There's an idea, if Thomas Bryant and Big Z and Bogut don't do it for us, maybe he could play some stretch 5. That'd be great. But, you know, again, his health, and I don't know. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, Richard Jefferson got traded today. That was a little bit of a shocker. And then Joel Embiid and Hassan Whiteside got into a Twitter beef after playing the game today. So definitely check that out, guys. It was kind of hilarious. Hassan Whiteside was bagging on Joel Embiid's health, and Joel Embiid was bagging on how irrelevant Hassan Whiteside is, according to him. So it's just fun. We need some Eastern Conference rivalries because it's boring over there. So they're brewing it up. It's all gravy. It'll be interesting to see what happens come Thursday. Hopefully, man. Hopefully we get this dub. It's going to be a hard game. I've been watching a little bit of the Clippers action, like highlights and stuff. And Blake Griffin looks like, you know, he's healthy again, and he's attacking the rim and shooting threes, doing a little bit of everything. DeAndre Jordan was supposed to be irrelevant, but he got lucky. They got this, like, Milos, I forgot his last name, Teodosic or something like that. He's been, you know, including him in pick and rolls, and they look solid. And we all know Gallinari can hoop. So we're going to need a good game by pretty much the starters and the bench to win that game. And our bench might be our advantage because we do have a semi-better bench than the Clippers. They do have Lou Williams over there, though, so watch out for him to try to do damage, get back at our team for trading him. That's what these players typically do. And that was funny because last video I mentioned that, you know, some teams have these garbage players that destroy us, and today, you know, we had so many G Leaguers just kill us. So it's funny how that always happens. I'm sure Milos is probably going to come out and try to outshine Lonzo. Hopefully Lonzo takes it to him, but I want to see Lonzo attack the rim, take it right to his chest, and just draw some fouls and get in there and do work, right? Let's take some questions. Do you think Nance should come off the bench? No, I actually like him starting over Randle for sure. The only reason I would like him off the bench is if we start your boy Kyle Kuzma, and then you would have Nance as a backup 5 and Julius as a backup 4. But then I do like Corey Brewer, so I could see him playing some 3. He would replace, obviously, Kyle Kuzma, who's currently playing backup 3. So, yeah, good question. But, yeah, no, I do like Larry Nance starting right now, unless it's for Kyle Kuzma. That's the only exception I make. But maybe Luke sees something, and I've been noticing that they do have good chemistry there off the bench. So we're going to have a strong bench. Patrick Beverly going to clamp up Lonzo. He said he's ready. Patrick Beverly clamps up everybody, but the key is Lonzo's not going to try to score on him anyways. He's probably going to try to get teammates involved, so it doesn't really matter, you know. There's no clamps in the NBA, right? Basically, the way I see it is if you have a bad game, it's on you. And, you know, the player guarding you, he basically just deterred your game, but he didn't clamp you up. That's all on the way you play. Because if Lonzo has 12 assists, he didn't really clamp him up, even if he had like 2 to 3 points. You know what I mean? He still impacted the game somehow. He took what the defense gave him. That's pretty much it. So I'm not worried about Patrick Beverly. Plus, he's dirty, so I'm not a fan. Dan, the Lakers fan, Kuzma should start at the 4. I agree. That's what I've been saying all preseason long. I feel like he'll make our offensive unit way more dynamic, and we'll have a better offensive flow to start games because I feel like our bench is more dynamic than our starters, and that can't happen. We got to start off games strong so we get momentum and we win more games during the season. But that's just my opinion. I do like Nance there, though. Nance does his role. He plays his role well. We don't need him to score. He's going to catch a couple of lob dunks here and there. You know, he's going to get some hustle play dunks, layups, wide open mid-range jump shots, maybe the occasional wide open three-pointer. But what him and KCP bring to the team is extra because our 3 main scorers in the starting lineup have to be Brandon Ingram and Brook Lopez and Lonzo. They have to be the 3 main playmakers / scorers. Dan, who do you think is our X factor? That is a great question. Amazing question, guys. Our X factor right now, all preseason long, has been Kyle Kuzma. And tonight he had a beautiful reverse layup. Sometimes he surprises me. I didn't know he's that athletic, guys. He almost posterized somebody. I don't even know who it was, Bryce Johnson or somebody. But I think it's Kyle Kuzma. I think he'll be the X factor. If it's not him, it's probably going to be Julius if he keeps playing the way he was off the bench, you know. Nance is weak. WTF are you guys talking about? Dude, Nance is not weak, all right? Nance plays good defense. He actually mans the paint better than Julius. I don't get... Basketball's a two-way game. If Julius scores 20 points but gives up 40, you know, we're worse off with him. At least Nance is able to at least kind of contain the 4 spot. You know, he plays good defense, hustles, he boxes out. He does the little things better than Julius. Sure, Julius has more potential. Julius can score better. Julius can is more versatile, but he can do that so much better, so much better off the bench, where he's a primary or secondary option. You know, we don't need him ball hogging and trying to play make and getting sloppy on the starting unit, because that's going to take away from what Lonzo can do. That's the only reason I say no to Julius starting. But at the end of the day, I'm not the coach. Just my humble opinion. At the end of the day, Luke's going to make the better decision. Hey, tell me if you don't agree. We've looked better the last couple of games after going 0-3 in the first 3 when Julius started. So we went, 2 out of 3 in the last 3. So obviously they made an adjustment and it's working out. I'd start Nance over Julius. How does I'm not. You're a troll, bro. Nance is weak. He has no defense. What game are you watching? If anything, Julius doesn't play defense because he every time he tries to block a shot, they just teardrop it over him. He has short arms. You know, he is a bully in the paint offensively, but defensively he's not that bad. He's not that good. Larry Nance is. If you've been watching the Lakers, you know Larry Nance is a better power forward defensively and athletically. Yes, sir. Caruso or Ennis? That is such a good question, Anthony. That's tough because I felt like Ennis was doing great, and I don't want to take away from him, from what he did throughout last season when he was with us for the short stint, and during the first half of the preseason. So I'll take Ennis for now. But if Caruso keeps playing like this, then it's going to be Caruso because he's such a good playmaker. He's a little bit lankier, and I feel like he plays a bit better defense. But what I like about Caruso, he reminds me of a poor man's Manu Ginobili. The way he gets into the paint, even on the fast break, he makes the right passes most of the time. So I love that about him. What happened to our offensive flow from the Summer League? There was no Lonzo effect. Yeah, well, Lonzo didn't play most of the preseason. So how's there going to be Lonzo effect? Also, what happened is that the Summer League team is a total different team than this team. They have to find themselves. Yeah, I really like Caruso as well. He's a great hustle guy. He plays defense. He has high basketball IQ, and he runs the second unit pretty well. So I wouldn't be shocked if he ends up overtaking Ennis. But I think the way the two-way contract works is we can only have a player for like a month and a half, on that two-way contract, and then he has to go to the G League unless we sign him to an official roster spot. That's why I'm saying if anybody earned this 15th roster spot, it has to be Caruso. Nobody else really impressed me like that. And obviously, we didn't get to see Andrew Bogut play. There you go. We didn't get to see him play. So from everybody I saw, the second unit, I really like Caruso. No, I did not say Nance is better than Julius. Obviously, Julius is a better player offensively, but what Larry Nance does better is he mans the 4th spot better. He guards better, he rebounds better, and he hustles and plays harder. He plays his role better, whereas Julius, he tries to do a little too much sometimes, gets sloppy, and takes the first unit even more out of the offensive flow. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not saying he's a better player. Relax. You guys are always trying to read too much into stuff. At the end of the day, look, it's not about who starts, and it's about who finishes. And Kuzma could come off the bench, but he can still average 30 minutes per game. He can still have starter minutes, so it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to find is the right combinations. And I just feel like Julius Randle holds the ball too long. The ball needs to be in Lonzo's hands, and then, when he gives it up, they need to be ready in position to score for the most part in the starting lineup. That's all I'm saying. You don't want two players' games crashing with each other, and that's what I feel like Julius does. He holds the ball too long. He's not an off-ball power forward. Nance is. Exact, and Nance compliments Lopez better. Good point, Bill. Good point. Hey, what's up, Jesse? How you doing? Weber's ejection, yeah, that was BS, man. Come on. The guy's trying to earn a roster spot, and you might be killing his opportunity. Those refs, man. Seriously, these preseason refs have been horrible. Hopefully the regular season ones are a little bit better. But we all know we always get BS, man. I like Clarkson, but Hart looking nice. And that's what I kept telling people. If Josh Hart continues to play well, Clarkson will become expandable. Why? Because Josh Hart plays better defense, and he plays his role better. While Clarkson tries to do too much sometimes, he gets tunnel vision, and he ends up turning the ball over or taking an arrogant shot. So that's all I'm saying. But as for now, JC has been playing decent preseason. I will say that. Hart or JC? For now, JC. But Hart has yet to prove himself fully. We got to see that he plays good during regular season. JC has had, you know, stints of good regular season run. So his jump shot, Jordan Clarkson's jump shot looks a little bit better this season. The form looks nicer. The release looks quicker. So we'll see if that translates to regular season. After the second game in Summer League, everyone is making extra passes. It seems like Luke is trying to implement the offense that is hurting the type of game we've seen in the summer. I'm not sure what you mean by that, bro. You have to elaborate a little bit better. You say you hope Vanderblue makes a team. I don't see it, bro, honestly. Vanderblue is a poor man's Jordan Clarkson. We have that already. We have the rich Jordan. We have the actual Jordan Clarkson. We don't need another poor man's Jordan Clarkson. Ingram is too slow to play the 3. I don't see it, Seb. Ingram is perfectly fine. Tonight he played well. The thing about Ingram is that he has to know that when his shot isn't falling, he has to become more of a facilitator. If he can join Lonzo in facilitating for the rest of the team, this team is going to be so much more dynamic because, you know, Brandon Ingram is actually like a bigger point guard. He could actually handle the ball really well. He rarely turns it over when he's handling, unless he's forcing the ball to score. And then, you know, he makes great passes. You've seen the one to Brook Lopez in the corner for 3. He had a behind-the-back pass to Brook. This guy's really good, man. Just give him some time. He's a small forward. He could play 1 through 3, honestly. He's too skinny for the 4 right now, but he'll gain muscle. He's going to get better. I saw Brandon Ingram's potential last season, and anybody giving up on him just needs to be a little bit more patient. And that's the nice way of me telling you guys. The other way, I actually had arguments with people talking about trade Brandon Ingram. He's a bum. I'm like, no, he's oozing with potential, and that's why other GMs want him. Dan, do you consider starting Caruso next to Lonzo the next game? Take some pressure off him to create play? No, I don't, because Caruso is perfect where he is at. He's going to be a third-string point guard just in case of injuries, and I like him there. That's fine. He might eventually overtake Ennis, like I said, if he continues to play well, but it is what it is. There you go. That's his name, Travis Ware. Thank you, Nathan. I appreciate it. My thoughts on Travis Ware are why? We already have enough power forwards. I don't get it. Unless, you know, it's just a practice body, but unless they're planning on making a trade, I don't see why we picked him up. Ooh, what's up, Sean? How you doing, brother? I see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while. Who's going to be Big Zoo, Bryant, or Bogut? Who's it going to be? Our backup center? I don't know. It might just end up being like, I don't know, man. That's a good question. None of them truly. I mean, I like Thomas Bryant's energy a lot. He plays hard, and he's very strong, and those screens he sets are no joke. Zubac still isn't where he was last season when he showed that potential, but I think he'll get there eventually. And Bogut, well, I really haven't seen him, so I can't really make that assessment, you know. I can't really make that assessment, but that's a good question, man. We're going to have to wait to see all of them play before I can make that, you know. I don't want to mention a player and then, you know, here comes Bogut dominating or looking good, and then, you know, then we have to switch it up. So too early, but good question, Sean. I appreciate you, man. Brook Lopez looked super nice tonight. His touch from everywhere from 30 feet inside, so good. Do we keep Bogut or Bogus, like you call him? That's not for me to decide, man. Depends on the training staff, the coaching staff. If they feel he's going to be healthy and a factor, maybe they've seen something in practice. I don't know. I'm not sure, man. Question from Twitter. Why is Ingram considered more valuable than D'Angelo when D'Angelo is a better scorer while Ingram's career is high as 21? Because you don't... Okay, when you have a player, a young player, this is what a lot of fans don't understand, okay? When you have a young player like Brandon Ingram, you don't judge him based on how many points he scored. You judge him based on everything he does on the floor. Now, when you look at Ingram, his defense is good already. It's only going to get better. I think his defense is going to get great, all right? That in itself brings high value to that player. He's only 20 years of age, okay? And D'Angelo's young as well. But D'Angelo plays no defense, all right? Brandon Ingram's already beating him there, all right? Then Brandon Ingram is not athletic at all, you know, at all. You know, I'm sorry, not Brandon Ingram. D'Angelo Russell's not athletic at all. Brandon Ingram beats him in athleticism as well. That's 2 categories for Brandon Ingram, okay? Now, when you look at potential of what they can become, D'Angelo Russell can become a great scorer, but Brandon Ingram can become a great two-way player, okay? Like very much like Kawhi Leonard. I know that's saying a lot right now. He's still raw, but it took Kawhi Leonard some years to develop. So where D'Angelo Russell could be a really good scorer, I don't see a ceiling being too high. James Harden is the comparison. I don't see it. James Harden is quicker. He's more athletic. Okay, he gets to the rim at will. D'Angelo Russell kind of settles for a lot of jumpers. And on top of that, he's just not a leader. Brandon Ingram actually has good leadership qualities. So when you look at potential, all right, what a player can become, not what a player is, I'll take 9 times out of 10, I'll take Brandon Ingram. And anybody with basketball knowledge knows that. Now, people who are over here that have no patience, they're going to say D'Angelo Russell. Why? Because he's doing decent. But come regular season, this kid's not going to make that much of an impact on his roster where Brandon Ingram can make, he can play defense, he can rebound, he can maybe even block a couple of shots. His length is going to be a factor. Just have to be patient with the kid. He's a project. And projects, sometimes pan out and sometimes they don't. But I believe in this kid. I mean, he showed a lot of heart, man. He showed a lot of heart last season. So just be patient with him. And I'm over D'Lo anyways. He's not on the roster like Sean said. He's gone. You have to support Brandon Ingram. Why would you turn on your own player? Then you're not a real Laker fan. There's no point of turning on your players. You got to be supportive. That way these players feel our support instead of going on social media and reading B.I.'s a bum based on preseason. Why? It'd be nice, to go onto Twitter and read, well, I believe in this kid, and get his confidence up. Fans actually do impact players, but more times than not, it's in a bad way, and that's not good, But Brandon Ingram is oozing with potential, man, and I believe this year he will break out. Now, I might be a little premature. It might be next year when he breaks out, but get used to him, guys. Embrace him because he's going to be on this roster for a long time. Magic already said it. Luke has been telling him, that's all that Brandon Ingram has to do is just relax and know that. Maybe he feels the pressure because D'Angelo got traded, right? That sends a message to all the young players, hey, if you don't step up, you might get traded. But he needs to relax and know that he's a part, he's a part of the future. And that's all that matters. He's a part of the future. So he will eventually, fill his role, man. Not every fans also have to realize that not every player is LeBron James. Not every player comes in and impacts the league from day one. Yeah, some players are, but even the great Steph Curry, it took him 3 to 4 years. So no, just please don't call him that. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. I have to block you, bro, only because you called him that, and that's just ridiculous. He said Brandon Ingram is the next Darius Miles. Come on, the hate is real, guys. You can't project a player's ceiling based on preseason. The preseason is exactly to do what Brandon Ingram is doing. All right, to fine-tune your game. That's what it's for. If he doesn't attempt these shots now, if he doesn't make the mistakes now, he's gonna make them in regular season, and fans are just gonna overreact. That's all it is. D'Angelo Russell's a very talented player, but he's very one-dimensional. Just a scorer. He's not even that great of a playmaker. When we brought him here, he looked like a great playmaker, but he didn't. What was his career high in averaging? Like 3 or 4 assists. That's it. For a point guard, that's why they had him move to shooting guard. And that's what Lonzo's going to do when he comes here. He's going to do exactly what D'Angelo didn't do. That's why Magic Johnson said it. And it hurt me when I heard it, right? I can only imagine how D'Angelo Russell felt. But he said, what I need was a leader. All right, D'Angelo Russell, unfortunately, wasn't a leader. He's too immature still. He's still finding himself. A leader, makes everybody around him better. And that's what Lonzo's going to do for us. So the immature basketball fan will say, well, D'Angelo's a better scorer, And the bottom line is basketball is not all about scoring. Brandon Ingram could have 62 out of the 82 games more of an impact without even scoring as much as D'Angelo, right? He can get more rebounds, block more shots, have more assists, push the pace. He can even get a hockey assist that don't even come up in the stat sheet. So there's so many things that players do sometimes don't even come up in stat sheets. That's why I rarely go to stat sheets, guys. You don't see me here talking about plus minus as well. The game is deeper than that. Yeah, sometimes the plus minus stat sheet helps and all that, but at the end of the day, Brandon Ingram has a world of potential, and everybody knows the kid is just 20 years old. He hasn't even grown into his body yet. Imagine when this kid looks all ripped up and he's taking it to the hole with that 6'10", 7-foot frame, and he's getting to the rack. He's gonna be unstoppable. He showed flashes of that last season. Just look up the tape if you don't believe me. He was dunking even on Giannis, the Greek freak. This guy was taking it to the hole with confidence. All he needs to find is his confidence. Tonight, he played good. He didn't play great. He played good, but he was limited minutes, And again, Lonzo's gonna make him better. Lonzo's just gonna make his teammates better. And yeah, it's funny though. This is the funny part about all the D'Angelo Russell people that are coming out now and still mentioning his name. You know, is that half of these cats were talking smack about him when he would have bad games, talking about he's a bum, he's a bust. You know, I defended him so much when he was here. You can go back and see my old clips. There was way more D'Angelo Russell haters, and all of a sudden now the Lakers trade him, and now people want him back. That just makes no sense. But that's exactly why we're the fans and they're the GMs. Let them do their job. You know, we're gonna sit here, and at the end of the day, 3-4 years down the road, if D'Angelo turns out to be a superstar, and none of the players we got in return do, or we don't land a superstar in free agency, then it'll go down as a bad trade. But it's too early to tell, anyways. Right now, it looks like a great trade. Brook Lopez looks amazing, by the way. Kuzma has looked great, like the steal of the draft, right? And we got all that cap space to sign free agents. Right now, I'm loving the trade, and I'm not going to repent from that because I feel like we're still going to land. You know, we're going to land a max type free agent. You know, so don't even trip. Yeah, well, Leonard, by the way, Leonard probably wouldn't have developed properly if he didn't have, you know, the great Greg Popovich. Anyways, so. You know, don't underestimate, you know, coaching and development. Sean is over here attacking people. Tell him, Sean. Preach, bro. For reals. By the way, if you love D'Angelo that much, like to Sean's point, you know, go watch the Brooklyn Nets, you know. Go watch them or something. I don't know. Thank you, Coffee. I appreciate you, man. You always give me compliments. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Kuzma looked good as a playmaker as well. Frank Ntilikina said they banned camera phones in the Nets locker room since the D'Lo trade. That's messed up, bro. See, I'm not even that harsh towards D'Angelo. He made a crucial mistake because he lost a lot of players' trust, and a lot of people now call him snitch and stuff. But you know, the kid is young. He'll make mistakes. I hope he does well in Brooklyn, but still. I hope that the overall trade works out better for us. You know what I mean? I'm always gonna like the kid, man. When you draft a player, when you draft a young player, right? You grow attached to that player, and I get it. That's maybe why a lot of fans are still clinging on. They're not letting go. But when you grow attached to a player, you kind of become biased towards him. I try not to be. I try to see the game overall in a different perspective. But you know, I grew up like I still think D'Angelo has high potential to become like a really good player. You know, my ceiling has now dropped from James Harden to, like, I don't know, what's a good comparison for this kid? Some combo scoring guard that was good, you know. Maybe he could be like a poor man's Gilbert Arenas. I don't know. But it's crazy, man. It is just D'Lo's really good, really talented, but very immature, and I hope he matures. So far he's saying all the right things over there in Brooklyn in training camp, but will it translate? Will it translate to the regular season and, you know, overall down the road in his career? We'll see. Some players never mature. I mean, look at Nick Young. That guy's a walking laughingstock, man. Everywhere he goes, he smiles even when he loses by 30. That's immaturity, man. This guy hangs out with rookies, and that's why he ends up getting snitched on, you know? I hate to sound like a hater, but the truth is he never matured. So Nick Young actually had a lot of talent. Coming out of USC, man, a lot of people thought he was going to be like, he could have been like maybe DeMar DeRozan, but with better shooting. You know, he had a lot of talent, but he never took the game that serious. Same thing happened with Dwight. They don't take the game too serious, and what happens is they end up becoming, you know, clowns. Will you get attached to Ingram or distance yourself? Look, let me tell you something. Brandon Ingram is one of my favorite young players because I see so much potential in him. But if I end up being wrong, and I'll say this, 85% of the time I've been right in my predictions with young players. You know, during my time watching basketball since like 1994 or 95, since I started watching basketball. I love his attitude, right? This kid, he's very humble. He has everything all the tools he needs to become a star player and maybe even a superstar one day in this league. So I do love him, but I love Lonzo Ball equally as much. I don't have favorites. Anybody that has potential, even Kyle Kuzma, I'm a big fan of, especially if you're a Laker. I'm even a fan of other young players around the league. Like Ben Simmons is a beast. I've been watching him preseason, and man, he's such a beast, guys. And Joel Embiid, he's an animal. I hate his attitude. You know, I destroy him in my rap songs and stuff like that. You know, but But I do like his talent. You've seen what he did the other night. He came in and dropped like 20 points in like 8 minutes. The kid is insane, man. He looks like the one of the better centers since Shaquille O'Neal. And I know that's high praise, but, you know, it is what it is. Greek freak Giannis, man, big fan of his, by the way. Porzingis, one of my favorite young players. I'm a fan of the league overall. But, of course, I'm a ride-or-die Laker fan. And so I want my young Lakers to do really well. Who doesn't? It makes sense, right? So, but I'm not a homer, bro. You've seen when we did the D'Angelo Russell trade, you guys know I always defended him when people talk smack. And as soon as we traded him, and I saw that the trade was good for us, I was happy for my Lakers. So I said, this is actually a good trade. A lot of people were upset. But, you know, this was a good trade for us. So I was happy overall. You know, sure, it was sad to see D'Lo go, but I kind of saw it coming. I predicted it a month before it happened. I always tell you guys this. I know I repeat it, but I saw it happening because I said Magic ain't going to take no more drama. And when D'Angelo Russell liked that tweet that said the Lakers were dumb for if they even thought about drafting Lonzo, who everybody knew they were going to draft, that was the last straw. And I know it's just liking a tweet and people were like, well, it was a mistake. But at the end of the day, you got to be more mature and more careful, especially when people are talking about your franchise that you play for, right? Magic ain't going to take no prisoners, man. This guy's ready to. He's wheeling and dealing because he wants to return the Lakers back to the promised land, and that's the ultimate goal, you know. But yeah, you know, Brandon Ingram is gonna be good, man. And everybody, this guy, Greg, he's gonna regret saying the things he's saying. Everybody who says dumb stuff like this, dumb, you know, they're probably just trolling. I'm sure nobody's that dumb. He said trade Brandon Ingram for Ricky Rubio. I'm sure he's trolling, so I pay them no mind, right? Because you pay a troll's mind, and what they're only gonna troll more, so it doesn't matter, you know, what they say. But it is what it is, man. It's kind of funny, but it's sad at the same time. They're disrespecting this player, and when he becomes a star one day, they're gonna buy his jersey. That's what I think is that's hypocrisy. But hey, you know, I can't judge nobody. That's between them. If they want to be like that, that's cool, you know. But this is one of the most impatient fan bases. We love our team. I get that. We are the most loyal fan base. We stick by the Lakers whether we win 82-0 or we go 0-82. We're gonna ride to die. But I do notice that since we are spoiled and we're used to winning a lot, we do tend to throw our young players under the bus, you know, when it's not warranted, right? They deserve better because they need the same patience that we give Kobe Bryant. You know, imagine if social media existed back in the 90s when Kobe averaged 8 points a game in the season. People would have been like, trade him. That's one of the GOATs, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason we have to be patient, you know. I'm sure Oklahoma City Thunder fans weren't like, you know, trade James Harden when he was coming off the bench, you know, try to get some better trade value for him. I'm sure they were upset because they seen the potential. So that's what we have to do. What we have to do is we have to be patient with our players. Cruz reminds me of Rashard Lewis in his Sonic days. Yeah, I mentioned that a while back, but he actually has more post moves than Rashard used to. But Rashard was really good, so I'm not going to disrespect him. So yeah, it's a decent comparison. I agree. And Magic we trust. That's right, Marcel. You tell him, bro. We got to stay positive. Look, this might be our last year where we really struggle. Starting next season, if we land 2 max free agents, we might have turned it around. But there's beauty in the struggle, people. It's going to feel nice when all of a sudden, you know, TNT stops making jokes about us, or, you know, Kevin McHale, you know, stops smirking down on the Lakers' young talent, talking about, I don't see anybody here that's going to be more than average. Boston Celtic hate, bro. So eventually they're all going to get shut down. They know that. That's why the league didn't want the Chris Paul trade, because they hate it when we rise, man. Because when we rise, we rise. We don't rise like the Clippers and hang selfies. We hang banners. We rise all the way to the top. And that's the main goal. And that's where Magic is taking this team. And I'm going to be there to witness it. And I'm a proud Laker fan. You know, it's going to be beautiful to see us. You know, we started from the bottom. Now we're here. We had to rebuild. You know, since Kobe retired, we had to rebuild. But Laker rebuilds are always short. It always takes like anywhere from on average 5 to 7, maximum like 8 years. So just all you got to do, man. All you got to do is just be patient, enjoy the process, enjoy these young players, because it's beautiful to watch them grow. I know I've had a blast seeing everybody that, like some of my favorite players in the league, grow up and become superstars, like Vince Carter, you know, Tracy McGrady, Steve Francis. You know, they all showed flashes. You know, it was the calm before the storm. But when the storm hits, man, it's gonna be fire, man. So let's do it, baby. Let's get ready for the season. I can't wait, guys. Hopefully we beat the Clippers on Thursday night. It's gonna be a tough game. But hopefully, you know, Lonzo brings his A game, UCLA style, and we're able to smack the crap out of these Clippers. Send them back to San Diego where they belong, man, or Seattle or wherever they want to go. We're gonna buy them a one-way ticket back to out of LA. Just a one-way ticket. Get out of here. But I appreciate you guys for showing up, man. Much love to all the Laker fans. You guys have been faithful. See, everybody in this forum who's talking good about the Lakers right now, you guys are the real Laker fans. You know why? Because you're here whether we struggle or we do good, man. You guys have been ride to die, and I appreciate you guys, and I salute you. But that's going to do it for me, fam. I can't, like I said, I'm going to be dropping a video in between week, just telling you guys what I feel the Lakers need to improve on in order for us to make the playoffs. And shout out to Laker Nation for staying strong, man, through the struggle. And I appreciate you, fam, man. You guys are the best fans on YouTube and best fans in the NBA for sure. Laker Nation, we got the NBA on lock, man. Oklahoma City Thunder, they don't got nothing on us, man. So Paul George, we see you here next year, buddy. Anyway, that's gonna cut it for me, man. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Peace out, fam.